What do you think is causing some of the breakdown inside the United States? I mean, I've got my own opinion. I know Don has his, but I'm just kind of curious as to what do you think is causing this breakdown of the family unit, of the American male that it once was, that has become more and more of an extinct species that maybe we have to only go down to the Smithsonian Institute to see every now and then when it's behind glass. Because,
it's funny. I think it stems from a couple things. Number one, pardon my fucking iPhones and Androids, right? These phones, these platforms where everybody's a keyboard warrior. You get it, I get it, everybody gets it. Video games. I didn't grow up with much. If I wanted to get the hell out of the house and go do what boys do, get in trouble, chase girls, get in fights, right? And we talked about this last night. What do I think the world needs more of today? Men need to get punched in the face really fucking hard. Yeah. They do.
Knocks on their ass.
They do. And it's the thing, because the problem with society is nobody's held accountable for their actions. It's like, we were talking about the trolls and the things on the Instagram. Yeah. People say horrible things. Just ignore them. No, I'm not going to ignore them. I'm not going to. I know sometimes there are, but certain things I won't. Like in life.
I'm going to throw back that age-old adage they used to always say, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. But we live in a very soft society nowadays. I mean, paper thin emotions to where it's like, oh, he hurt my feelings.
Oh my God, it's crazy. Like now everybody makes these things called GoFunds, right? Let's raise money because I twisted my ankle. I had a GoFund. It was called a paper route or a lawnmower. Get your ass to work.
So just by this short conversation we're having right now, the thought of, so you're really not would be big on participation ribbons?
No, I do not. I don't believe in that. I believe that you're either first, second, or third. Like.
I actually want to be the guy that stands there with the little rubber stamp with the L. This goes loser, 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 and then give out. I live in a world of competition. There's only the gold, the silver, and the bronze. That's it. Everyone else was, you were there.
Yeah, I mean, what is 14th place? What is that, like a burnt sienna color? What the fuck color is that? What is that? That's the thing. Fuchsia. Yeah, people. That's the thing. There needs to be the distinction between people who work for it, right? We talked about it earlier. One of the questions, my daughter, she's a gymnast. You either get first in the state, second in the state, third in state. This 14th in state, that doesn't mean anything.
What events did your daughter participate
So she has to, at this young age, she has to compete in, I got to make sure I get this right, floor, vault, bars, and beam. And she's in level 7 now. She's been doing gymnastics since she's 12. She's been doing gymnastics since she was 5. And she's won first overall state champion when she was at level 3. In each event, she took the number 1 in the state. And then since then, she's placed in certain categories first in state. But the 1 year, she took first in everything. And that's,
wow.
She took home one of these, Don. Yeah, not those, but yeah, she took it home. And I'll tell you, it comes with a price, right? I mean, the hands were, torn up and the long hours and the pain. And that's what I think the world needs to understand. Like, I'll give you an example, right? You guys were kind of successful at what you did. I can't say it with a straight face.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. But you guys trained hard. I mean, I went down to your barn yesterday and I saw your bags. I would not want to be one of those bags. I mean, literally, it looked like your fists were imprinted in those things, right? But I think what the world needs to understand is this new age, you just need to get up and create movement. You need to do something. I tell people, get out, walk, exercise, and, don't be afraid to try new things. Because that's the thing. People are so content with sitting around playing video games and, you're not a UFC fighter if you play a UFC fighter game. You're not. Right. You're not a Navy SEAL if you play Call of Duty. If you want it, go get it. Right? That's. I can say
some of the conversation we had even yesterday where we talked about go out to the local shopping mall and just do a quick 360. Try to find the one person that does not have a cell phone in their hand. Or they're walking down the sidewalk and they're looking down and
they run into something. Oh my God, it happens all the time. I laugh at people.
You see all these, but they even have shows now that like funny like bloopers stuff like that because they do it exactly what you said. They walk down, they're hitting a sign, or they're walking into a mailbox or something of that nature. I mean, it's people are so influenced. Well, again, state by state, how many people are getting in automobile accidents because they're texting, talking,
I tell you what,
watching.
True story. About 6 months ago, me and my wife were driving. We're going to dinner. I couldn't make this up if I tried. There was a lady driving down the highway with a book. Not even looking at the fucking road, driving. And we were like, what the? She just reading the book. Look, and I'm like beeping the horn. She looks at me like I am out of my mind. I'm like, you are reading. But I really think I
actually have to commend her, though. She was actually reading a real book.
Well, at least a book, yeah. But
exactly.
I think there's a time and place for everything, sir. Holy shit, If I'm taking a deuce, I'll pull a book out, but not audio book, right? Audio.
There you go.
Don't act like you never masturbated while you're driving down the road now.
I have.
Without using your hands, even.
Well, that's a whole different story. But no, I think a lot of people that get, the world, everybody's called an influencer. And people that look up to influencers, I think people just need to be more happy.
More selective?
Yeah, no shit. And more content with their life. Like when we were kids, well, I know you're older than me, but we didn't have phones. And I didn't have an issue with that. I didn't go, God, I wish there was a way I could put my face down and look at something all day long. I mean, the phone's great. I can look at porn whenever I want. That's great, right? Back in the day, you had to put in the big VHS or the beta and hit rewind, and it took forever. But nowadays,
clear the house, make sure nobody's there.
Exactly. Nowadays, my wife gets on my damn phone. She's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know how that got there." But no. But people need to just be more active, and that's what I think people need to do.
I agree. I'll go back to like the cell phone. We talk about kids and cell phones because I see kids that are like, they're so young. They have no concept of really what that phone is, other than it's something that will entertain them. But like my youngest son, he wanted a cell phone at a very young age. And I go, you don't need one. He goes, well, but all my friends do. I go, I don't care if your friends have phone. You don't need one. I said, right now, your ass is being carted around by mom or dad. Mm-hmm. We're dropping you off at this home, and we know that parent, and we have that parent's home phone number when they used to actually have phones in their homes, or we have their cell number. We know how to contact you. Once you become mobile, once you start driving down the road, you'll have a cell phone then, because it also comes with a GPS. So when you tell us where you're going, it better be where you go, because we can also check that GPS.
And I also know how to install GPSs on cars so they're not detected. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, well, again, that's where it's just kind of cool things where kids can't get away with hardly anything anymore.
I agree. And that's the thing. Like back in the day, think about it. Let's go back in time. You and I had an issue with each other, right? We talked about it. So we go outside. We try to talk about it like men. If it can't be handled like men, we beat the shit out of each other. And then after that, hopefully it's done with. That's it. Nowadays, like I said, you'll see people dying in accidents. And what are people doing? No one's helping. What are they doing? They're filming.
Right.
Yes.
What the hell are you getting by not helping human beings? It's crazy.
Well, just if you want to just bring up like recent things that are always in the news. How many people are, you've got the TV camera crews of this station, that station, there, but you have all these surveillance. They're all holding up the cell phone to watch. But you go to any type of athletic event or concert, how many people are holding up their cell phones then? You go to a UFC event, how many folks are holding up the cell phone?
Did you see Don just get his ass whooped by the headphones there? He was like getting his ass whooped. So I want to take a break I know that we're not doing anything scripted, but I want to ask you two questions. You two.
No.
Oh, no. I'm allowed to. This is America, Jack. You ain't got to answer. But these are two questions I have to ask. I'm going to ask each one of you one at a time, okay? Navy SEAL, you make your little jokes. You're how old? Tell me how old you are.
29.
29 plus a couple. Okay. You and I right now, we go toe-to-toe. Who's going to win? Go.
Well, you are a partner.
Damn. Okay. Now, let me ask you. Who's going to go? Who's going to win? You and I toe-to-toe.
Toe-to-toe. Wow.
Just only one man's.
I hate to say this, but it's going to be me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be playing fair though either.
Well, I go. And like with Don right now, like I said, you just got to stay away. I got to stay away from the hands. Like hopefully I can tire him out somehow. I have another question. I've always wanted to ask.
But again, you brought up some good points earlier. There's a certain state of mind, and there's a lot of. I've worked with coach at both Arizona State, Michigan State, and I've had my own training facility since just eons.
Yeah.
Working with lots of athletes. It's easy to train a body. The hardest thing to train is
Yes,
the
sir.
mind.
Yes, sir.
And this is, in my opinion, the greatest tool in the world, because if you could train this, you can make someone invincible.
I agree. And you know what's so unique is when I came here, I didn't realize. I mean, on TV, everything makes people look bigger, right? You two big motherfuckers, right? I mean, we were talking about that. As soon as I walked in yesterday, I'm like, remember we were talking about it, eyeing each other up, looking at wrist size, and Don's hand's the size of like my entire head. Your hand is ridiculous, and I was like, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if, because I think once you have that mindset, that mentality, do you still situational awareness always
Of course.
Of course, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, even like last night when we have some discussions, it's kind of like where I try to sit myself.
So were you actually going, if I had to kick his motherfucker's ass, would I do this? Were you?
Well, no, I get,
Because I was.
there was,
I was.
there was preconceived ideas that I would have. Okay, we have a Navy SEAL coming out, and I mean, you got somebody that would be highly skilled,
Yeah.
highly trained, and it's kind of like going. But you have to have a different mindset there too,
Yeah.
because and a lot of people, there are a lot of people that they don't have a certain mindset. Are they able to take another person's life or not?
Yeah.
So it's there's a different mindset.